All right, and welcome to case study number 17 of this series, so brilliantly titled Kirk's 40 Case Study Closings. I'm your host, Ryan Kirk, and these case studies range from vacant lots to custom luxury homes and total $2,042,081.71 in profits and equity, without having to personally go see the property on some, and with no cash, no credit of my own. It varies, and I'll explain. I do it all with Flip Logic and 1-888 cash offer. Now let's get into number 17 of the 40 case studies. And that brings us to 6120 Samuel Street in La Mesa, California. This is also East County, San Diego, if you don't know it. And the photo that you see up top, that's actually a screenshot of the actual ad that of where we found, of what the ad looked like for the property. So this is a Craigslist for sale by owner. Again, you could duplicate this lead origination right through Flip Logic using the instant leads and running a search on the Craigslist for sale by owner. So if you were to do that, if you found a lead similar to this, then you could go ahead and import that. Makes it easy analysis, for you to run comps, call the seller, estimate your repairs, come up with your numbers, write up, e-sign, and submit an offer. You can all do it very easily through Flip Logic. All right, so let's talk about the type. Well, obviously the type, since it was a for sale by owner, it's off market, right? And what else was going on is it's a trust sale. So in the ad, they called it Grandma's house. So this is Grandma's house. I think the sellers, who are the trustees, came down from, I want to say, Northern California, Oregon, Washington, somewhere up north, came down, did a garage sale, took some photos, threw the property on Craigslist for sale by owner, and there you have it. So it was a cosmetic condition, if you tell from the exterior photo. It had new windows, and from the ad, it said it had some miscellaneous new items. Roof wasn't that old, and I think they did some other things, maybe a new furnace. So it was in pretty good shape, needed cosmetic upgrades, baths, kitchen, maybe some flooring, paint, very, very kind of middle of the road type rehab. So we had placed the repair costs at $25 a square foot, which again, you've got an ARV here of over $500,000, $565,000. So that's a good middle of the road price per square foot for estimating your repairs, which is $25 a foot. Again, just to recap on that, if you're in lower ARV markets, you could go buy 10 for cosmetic, 15 for middle of the road, 20 if you have to touch everything. And then these higher ARV markets, you kind of have to double that, which would be, $20, $30 a square foot for middle of the road and $40 for awful. Again, you can adjust a little bit accordingly, and so we usually adjust downwards to about 25 for middle of the road, and there you have it. So the purchase price that we agreed upon with the seller was $425. We initially wanted it in the lower fours. However, the seller had come back to us and said that they had a higher offer. Well, what's your higher offer? Higher offer was right around $420. We said if we were to beat it at $425, is that a number that you and I can agree upon now and move forward today and open up escrow? To which they agreed, and we went ahead and did that. So the offer that we ended up writing this one at, we had to keep it very tight. As you can tell from those timelines, it was a 5-day inspection, 7-day close, and buyer pays all closing costs. Now, our investor came from a comparable sale from one of the surrounding comps that we used to support this property. Again, it's always good to check those comps. Were those flips? How do you know if those were flips? Look at the transaction history. Were they bought and sold within 12 months? Typically, a flip is bought and sold within about 3, 4 to 6 months, but within a year, right? And just so happens there was one of the flippers on it. You check the chain of title to see who was the company or the individual who bought and sold it, and then you search for them. You do a skip trace on the seller, or sorry, on that owner. Yeah, in that case, it was the flipper. And then you either pull up their website or you pull up a phone number and you give them a call, let them know, hey, you got a deal for them. Would they be interested? It's right near where their other fix and flip was. So you figure this would be up their alley. In this case, yes, they'd be interested. Hey, when can we go see it? Had them go see it. And then, of course, they were interested at $440,000, which created a $15,000 profit margin. The funding used on this was an assignment. So we put it under contract, right? Assigned it to our investor cash buyer. And they actually used a combination. They used some cash down and they used hard money. But I believe this one's still closed right on time in 7 days. If you have to get an extension for a couple of days, it's not a big deal. It's always good to stick to your timelines. But if you have to extend a couple of days, again, not a big deal, as long as in any negotiation, when you ask for something like an extension, you have to give them something like, all contingency removed. So in this case, we didn't have to wire a deposit. Again, standard is about 3 business days. You could extend that out to 5 business days, gives you about 7 calendar days. I mean, imagine, when you look at these terms, 7 calendar days is a lot, especially when you can get a buyer interested within about, within 24 hours, if not 48 hours, and get them over the property and get them to give you a non-contingent price. How else you could have found the investor cash buyer is you can run a instant leads buyer search for that area, again, like La Mesa or San Diego, or the larger metropolitan area like San Diego, and then keyword search, real estate investor, cash buyer, renovator, rehabber, real estate renovator, real estate rehabber, and run a couple of keyword searches that way, and market the deal out to those buyers that populate. So that's 2 immediate ways that you can find buyers very quickly. Check your surrounding comps and then run an instant lead search and send it out to them. There's also other ways that you can find them as well, which we can go over in more inner circle type trainings. So that about covers it. This property, since there was a seller on site, yes, had to go see it. Either you or someone on your team does need to be there when the investor goes there, because again, you don't want the investor fraternizing, speaking with the seller, and just discussing terms, unless you know them very, very well and you can trust them not to do that. But in this case, you would have to personally go see the property as opposed to just being able to do it remotely, unless you have, again, someone on your team who can go over to the property on your behalf and be there. All right, that's it. So again, statistically, only 10% of YouTube videos are watched until the end. So if you're in that 10%, you're a hustler, persistent, determined to succeed, and I do wish you much success. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to working with you.